So one of the main reasons that you train, you might not know this, the main reason that you train is for injury prevention and performance enhancement. So you train, you right there, you, hi buddy, you're going to be training for injury prevention and performance enhancement. I clearly understand that you might be training to look great in a bikini, and that is a byproduct of your physical fitness. So you know that if you're going to do something, the byproduct will be to look great, to get a lean body, to get rid of some excess fat, to function better, walk up the stairs better, to live your life in a healthier manner. But the main reasons that people train and use the burpee is, again, injury prevention and performance enhancement. So in terms of that, you need to make sure that whatever you're doing in the gym, whether it's a basic bicep curl or something as complex and exciting and beautiful as a burpee, you're doing this correctly. And the way to do that is to break the motion down, make sure that you have every component down correctly, and there's no better person to do a burpee in my book than Janelle, because she's extraordinary. And I can't do a burpee because I have this mic and see how it bounces around. I probably just flashed the whole YouTube, but you know, so I can't do it, but I can talk about it and Janelle can articulate, show it to you. So we're gonna do what a burpee is, because some of you are like, what's a burpee? So here's the burpee. Ta-da! Drum rolls, please. Do 2 burpees, 2 beautiful, amazing, exciting burpees. And that, my friends, is a burpee. So if Lululemon execs are watching, you need to send Janelle a burpee water bottle, okay? Now, that's a huge motion. Imagine walking in to your workout and doing this when you can't even do a push-up. Imagine walking in to this kind of exercise when you have knee pain because you've not engaged your glutes, or you've not engaged your adductors or abductors, and you're basically just weak and your knees are weak and they're hurting. And imagine having to do this high-level jump, so it's a vertical jump basically, and also execute a correct push-up from that jump. That's a really difficult thing to do. So the first thing we want to do is work on your vertical jump and on your push-up. So in the vertical jump, Janelle is not going to jump from her knees. We see this a lot, coming down and jumping up from your knees. She wants to hinge and use her glutes to push off. She's going to do 3 vertical jumps. So 1, 2, and 3. That's awesome, beautiful. So when you're jumping into your burpee, you need to make sure you have this beautiful, wonderful hinge. If you're not hinging, you're not recruiting your glutes, and if you're not recruiting your glutes, then you're missing half of the muscles that are involved in this motion. And that's pretty much a travesty, because you're not firing them and you're putting added pressure on the knees. You're basically putting added pressure on your joints, and you're going to suffer injury over time. So you need to make sure that the vertical jump is executed correctly. If you're not sure, then definitely the kettlebell swing will teach you your hinge, the deadlifts, good mornings, different things like that. But again, sit back, and you literally want to lead with your hips. You don't want to lead with your knees when you jump. So lead with your hips back and kind of then bend the knees and use that force to come up into that plyometric vertical jump. Next is the push-up. So when this wonderful woman lands, oh, so you're gonna, okay, you can do it. She's ready for a workout. She wants to make sure, so in terms of a push-up altogether, this is a plank. So the push-up really starts from this planking position. So if you don't have a good plank, and you hang through your plank, then you're not going to execute a great push-up. You're not going to use the correct muscles. We see a lot of guys doing this in the gym. And if they're doing this now, and even if they look good doing it, Janelle and I know that we can't even engage in that conversation, because they're not going to look too good for long. They're going to tear the shoulder and get fat. It's true, I'm sorry. Okay, so we want to make sure we're doing a really good push-up. So Janelle's going to go back into this plank, abs engaged, everything feels good, and she's going to execute 2 good push-ups. So if you notice, awesome time, you can bend your knees if you need to. If you notice her hands are not coming out this way, absolutely not. And this is probably the most common thing that you see is the arms just coming out. And this is just an overuse of the shoulder. You're not using your entire body. You're pretty much safe and soundly. We know that you're not using your back. You're not using your glutes in this motion. So she's going to go back into this wonderful, beautiful, beautiful push-up. I got mesmerized by how good you look in this position. And she wants to make sure her shoulders, elbows, and wrists are in line. She's going to, on her way down, almost corkscrew mentally her wrists to engage, not her wrist, her palms. She's going to corkscrew and make sure that she's using her lats right here, and using her abs, and using her glutes, and even her legs to come down and push right up. Awesome time. Another quick thing is if you can't do this motion, I don't want you to do a janky push-up. So instead, she's going to get to her knees. Perfect. And Janelle is going to execute a push-up from her knees. There is no shame in this game, okay? One more time. There's no shame here. This is good stuff. Thanks, buddy. This is great stuff. Personally, I have a shoulder injury because I train martial arts all the time, so I've been actually working with these push-ups until I progress back into a regular push-up. This is an important thing. If you can't do a great push-up from bent knees, then you should have no right to do a push-up without bent knees, no matter how many people are watching you, no matter what workout DVD you're doing, nothing. This is a modified push-up. This will give you the strength that you need to build towards a correct push-up. So we have the burpee. Do the one good burpee. This is a traditional, hardcore, I know how to jump, I know how to do a push-up burpee. Awesome. Perfect. The next burpee we have is a burpee that you can incorporate or use if you are just starting out your training, you're a little bit deconditioned individual, meaning you haven't been in the gym for a while or ever, and you really want to start to create the movement patterns to do this motion. So Janelle's going to hinge, but she's going to come up on her toes, and she's not going to jump. And she's going to lower down, and she's going to step back. She's going to bend her knees, and then she's going to execute the push-up. And she's going to come back up, back to plank, and step back up. So if you see this 2 times in real time, this is what it would look like. Boom. Perfect. This, my friends, is a modified burpee. It's not the sexier burpee of the burpee, world, but it's a good burpee. So if you are just starting out, I urge you, try this. If this feels hard, if you're not using all of your muscles, if you're struggling through your shoulders, if your knees are bothering you, something's off just in this motion alone. So you have no right to do the high level, crazy, on every commercial, Rihanna of the fitness world's burpee. So your second burpee is going to be your progression. So instead of jumping up and into her push-up, Janelle is going to hinge and jump up, boom, and then she's going to get into plank position slowly, and then she's going to execute her push-up. Perfect. She doesn't have to bend her knees here. Maybe you want to, and then come back up. Another version is you're ready to jump, so she's going to jump up, and then she's going to step back, but then she's not ready for the push-up. She's going to bend her knees, and then she's going to do the push-up. Beautiful. And then come back up. And another version is to slowly progress into a basic burpee, except she's going to have pauses during every motion. So light jump, pause, come back down, pause in a plank, make sure everything's good, lower down into a push-up, and come back right up. Perfect. And then you can make this really fast into, again, 2 really good, solid, fast burpees like you would do when you're training in your own workout routine. Perfect. So you see the progression and you kind of see the difference in the motion. But now you're a burpee king. I made it. I'm burpeed out. I can do this in my sleep. I can wake up in the middle of the night, fire alarm goes off, everything's okay. It was a false alarm, but I feel like it, and I'm doing it, and I'm just going to do the burpee. And you could do it like dead sleep, no coffee, nothing. You're just a pro. Men and women. So guys watching this in the room, smirking at your girlfriend, watching this video, get up off the couch. Okay, good. Now, let's give you a harder burpee. So Janelle's going to do a really fun motion. She's going to do 1 regular burpee for 1 alligator burpee. So the alligator burpee looks like this. As she jumps up and she comes back into plank, she's going to hold 5, 4, 3, 2 and push up from here. Boom, and come up. So that little pause where she's holding, that's called an alligator. If you do yoga, it might resemble a chaturanga, whichever one. So now 4. You're going to do it with her. I'm going to watch and enjoy myself. So she's going to do 1 regular, 1 alligator, 1 regular, 1 alligator. Time starts now, and go with Janelle. You are a pro. You're a pro burpeer, and she's going to hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Push right back up. Jump up. Awesome. 1 regular burpee. Push up, and the last one. 10-second hold. 10 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. 5. Whoops. 4, 3, 2, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, and 1. Awesome. And come up. When I screw up my counting, because I say 10, I do 5, I just go 2.5, 3.5, that's good. So that was your progression to the burpee. Okay, so have fun with that. Put that into your workouts. If you're a part of our KB Body community and you're doing any of our Kettlebell Kickboxing Scorcher or Body Series DVDs, then please go ahead and advance this into your rest intervals, or better yet, some of the places where we do sprawls, you can now intermittently put these motions in. So they're not better or worse than a sprawl. sprawl, they're different. It's another variation. So everywhere we do a sprawl, then you can put in this burpee. Which level of burpee are you? It depends. Start from the first one, work your way up, and make sure you are not injuring yourself, because you have no right to injure yourself during your strength training routines. You can injure yourself when you're running, playing soccer, walking your dog, going fishing, because that is a sport, or that's kind of a recreational activity where you're being active and anything can happen. But you should be in charge of your body when you're training, and you have no right to injure yourself. So keep that in mind, keep training, keep it moving. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the whole dealie, and hashtag KBBody, and that's it. That's all I gotta say.